the revolution. Na me be the revolution. From Nigeria to America. Na me be the revolution. Na me be the revolution. Na me be the revolution. Human right and justice. Na me be the revolution.
Freedom vibes. Freedom. Okay, so we're moving straight to the showcase, the theme showcase. It says towards 2023, the role of artists in making our lives matter. It's important that we need, as actors, as artists, to begin to project, the right perspective and how it affects us, especially in the 2023 and the polity generally. And to do justice to this afternoon, the executive producer Unchained Vibes Africa, Mr. Ayodele Ganiu, will be doing this. Please, a round of applause for him as he takes on this session. Thank you.
Freedom. Free the vibes. I'm trying to point out those who are familiar with freedom vibes. Freedom. Free the vibes. Thank you very much. I have a lot of people to recognize, but I will crave your indulgence to stay on the existing protocol. And we are honored to have you, be a part of this historic and special and unconventional colloquium. This is not actually designed to be a formal gathering. It's a family affair. We are here to interact and, of course, to sensitize the public about the importance of conscious art, conscious music in particular, and the role of someone who has been very consistent in terms of demanding what is right against all odds. So thank you very much for honoring our invitations and for staying committed to these very important issues that we need to discuss. Okay, so let's take a look at this news. Within 3 months of this year, 2022, that's January, February, and March, terrorists killed 1,545 people, human beings, in Kaduna, Zamfara, and a few other states in the north, in just 3 months of 2022. Please, next slide. 6,205 human beings died in 2021 as a result of road crashes in Nigeria. Official statistics from the National Bureau of Statistics. A senior official of the federal government of Nigeria, the SGF, Secretary General of the government of the Federation, the SGF, the Secretary General of the government of the Federation, is not aware, or was, I don't know, maybe, he was not aware that our healthcare infrastructure was in such a poor state. Boss Mustafa. Next slide, please. These are the issues, out of several issues that informed our decision on the theme. These are the questions. Today in Nigeria, does a human life really matter? With those 3 slides are presented, if we want to be sincere with ourselves, the way we are being governed in this country, do our lives really matter? Or let me put it this way, do the lives of ordinary Nigerians really matter? The second question, what should be the single most important thing that citizens must demand from politicians, sorry for that omission, towards the 2023 general elections? If 6,000 people died, avoidable deaths, if a senior official of the federal government of Nigeria is not aware, because he does not use Nigerian hospitals, he travels abroad. If he has a headache, he travels to London or New York to go receive treatment. And terrorists killing people at will. In fact, a terrorist recently boasted on BBC documentary when he was asked why he was kidnapping people. He said he does not kidnap, he only kills. That is the state of affairs in Nigeria today. So if we ask ourselves very deep questions, does a human life matter today in Nigeria? What should be the single most important thing that we citizens must demand from politicians as we march towards 2023? We are going to be looking at this because we have an artist who has dedicated his life, career, sacrificed to highlight these issues, to demand for change. His name is Eedris Abdulkareem. Next slide, please. So we'll be looking at these issues from his perspective. First of all, let's start with insecurity, terrorists killing people. Please, the video.
It's right here. Turn up my microphone. Shit. What's up? Turn my microphone on. Shit. It's time to create some reality. 204. I put them on. What up? Nigeria, Jaga. Everything's fantastic.
Note of this issue.
What's up? Gunshot in the air. Nigeria, Jaga. Everything's fantastic. What's up? Gunshot in the air. I'm back into your house. You know, take more than went straight up to your bedside. What's up? This big down, you're down.
Thank you. This song was released approximately 20 years ago. Oga Kenny, 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I guess. It's a protest song that denounces insecurity and societal ills caused by bad governance. That song, Eedris was, I don't know how to, he was persecuted, frustrated, attacked, abused verbally, and some overzealous security agencies threatening him, doing all manners of things. He faced so many things for saying the truth. My father was was shot by armed robber in 1994. He was shot in the chest. He lived with the pain for 17 years and he eventually died in 2011. So these are realities. But of course, we have a system that nobody wants you to say the reality. And today we are worse off with the state of insecurity. These are the issues. The artist spoke about armed robbery, insecurity. Spoke about the people that died through the negligence of some soldiers during the Ikeja bomb blast. So many issues. And of course, there was a metaphorical message there that armed robbers will come to your house, we no shoot you, we no rape your wife. Now we'll go straight into your treasure, now political armed robbers. So the messages are unfold. 20 years after, the challenge, the insecurity remains a huge challenge. Next slide, please. Still on insecurity. This song, Say No to Southern Kaduna Killings, advocates and demands respect for human life. The way human lives are wasted. Like we saw in the first slide, 1,545 lives in just 90 days. Those that are officially accounted for. Please, the song, please. Let's see what Eedris.
Insecurity in Nigeria. We just feeling killing Southern Kaduna people. We on the beast. Now Jesus Christ, why you dey kill another man because of religion?
Production. He had to say that because he's a conscious artist. A conscious artist because in Nigeria, you don't just assume that everybody is educated enough to understand that you don't need to kill somebody. People have been indoctrinated to do it. So, Eedris as a voice with a platform at grassroots level means a lot, saying, Anabi Isa, na Jesus Christ, trying to connect people to be able to reason that you don't have to, he's my brother or she is my sister or so. So that's the power of the heart. It has followership. Music connects, breaks barriers. Next slide, please. No to Terrorism. This song is an artistic response to the attempted designation of Nigeria as a terrorist nation in 2009 or 2010, when one Abdul Muttalib boy boarded an airplane and had a bomb in his underpants. The first thing that the U.S. authorities and some other Western was to designate Nigeria as a. The Boko Haram was not even pronounced then. Eedris, that was labeled as anti-Nigeria, that was because he sang Jaga Jaga, that he disgraced Nigeria, he was embarrassing Nigeria. Rose in defense, I can see Ogakeke in this video. Rose in defense of Nigeria. That's cultural diplomacy, to represent and denounce that tag that we are not in a terrorist nation. But he did not just only do that. In the message, he also cautions the killings in the country, because when things start, little by little, then they become uncontrollable, and that's what we are witnessing today. Please, let's listen to the song and watch the video.
We ain't no terrorists, Nigeria, we ain't no terrorists, no. We be Ninja boys, good people and a great nation. Nigeria, we ain't no terrorists, no to terrorism. We ain't no terrorists, Niger. We be Ninja boys, good people and a great nation. Come on, let's go, come on. Bad leaders full our country, yo. Corruption full our nation, oh. Everybody just the share money. They no send our youth, our family. Education at 6%. Some bad lecturers still sleep with our girls. Kidnapping a good business. Niger Delta don't create our employment. When I sing Jaga Jaga, them say, I dey craze, them say, I dey man, I no get sense, rara, oh. America say we be terrorists, or I can you say, oh, no, rara, oh. Political killings, everybody dying. Niger make you shine your heart.
Thank you very much. Eedris has just exercised his civic responsibility to defend Nigeria. He rose in defense of Nigeria. No, this tag we don't. And truly today, even though we have so many terrorist activities happening in Nigeria, we are not a terrorist nation. It's not in our character. It's not in our character. Something is wrong somewhere. So he is pointing out the problem that we have. Corruption, those are the problems, not terrorism, really, in the real sense of it. A warning also to caution politicians not to get to where we are today, but unfortunately, because people don't listen. Now, the issues we've discussed so far relate to insecurity. Insecurity, now we are moving to health emergencies in Nigeria. All these things are the things that threaten our lives. That's why we have that theme. Because if we need to be alive to be able to talk about education, we need to be alive to be able to talk about jobs. It's only people who are alive or healthy that can talk about ambition or even 2023 elections. So, Eedris has addressed health emergencies, and most recently, the best example to showcase is COVID-19. First, with an intro with one of our veterans, Dedema Biaku, lamenting, the poor state of our healthcare infrastructure and the mismanagement and corruption in the palliatives that were marked for recovery or to take care of the emergency. Please, let's listen to Dede's intro.
Olodumare, no good hospitals, no good medical amenities for this our land. Eh? Now, whether you rich, whether you poor, all of us stay inside together. Oh yeah, where the stimulus package for the suffering and smiling masses?
Thank you. Next slide, please. Still on health emergency. This song is an artistic response to the emergency. It's not just a response, it's also a way of sensitization at grassroots level, because Eedris speaks Hausa. Eedris was born and raised in Kano and born to parents from southwest Nigeria. So you can see that if we are looking at Mr. Nigeria, in the real sense of it, it's Eedris Abdulkareem. So please, let's listen to the message of Eedris Abdulkareem.
Salamu alaikum yan wanna daga arewa coronavirus malam Umaru gaskiya ne ku tabbata kuna wanke hannun ku da yaushe ni ne Eedris na kawo muku sako. If you wake up my brother make you wash your hand. If you no get soap sanitize your hand. Advance yourself my brother make you no shake hand. Toba fún ẹ lọ́wọ́ fún ní ẹ̀bùn.
So there are two ways to take a look at this response. This is someone who cares about people. And of course, the best way to connect with people at grassroots level is to speak the language they understand. People in the north need to, listen to that language to be able to understand and, listen and connect with the message that you are passing across. COVID-19, even though we may not say we are the biggest victims of COVID-19, but we are the biggest of victims in terms of economic consequences of it. But where are the palliatives? That question is hanging, please. Next slide. Yes, Eedris is someone who believes in Nigeria and diversity. With his right-hand man, his 5 and 6, Mike Palm also communicated to our brothers and sisters from the East. Please, let's have the clip. Mike Palm in the house, the building. Thank you. Next slide, please. Now we are moving to the issue of bad roads in Nigeria. And let's try and connect that to 6,000 plus people that died in 2021. Eedris released a song late last year, around August or September, Fix Otter Road. It was a protest song denouncing the deplorable state of roads leading to Nigeria's second most industrialized area in Nigeria, that's Otta, occasioned by bad governance. Please, let's listen to Eedris' message from this.
The first industrialized local government where they survive Nigeria. Otana the second industrialized local government where they survive Nigeria. But all government officials just they come there, they collect the money. See the road still jaga jaga. Everywhere still yama yama. Fashola super minister, tell me why you they look away from Ota. Buhari is only building railway where they carry out they go in jail. I no blame Buhari. I swear I blame Obasanjo. Senator Tolu, what that be, he doesn't even answer anybody.
President Obasanjo,
honestly, if Obasanjo can rule for 8, don't let's even count the previous one.
Thank you. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. Now, let's see the impact. There are so many things I did not talk about that Eedris has done, musically, artistically. But, we try to just showcase a few of them to be able to connect the dots and let people understand what this man stands for. This song, that song that we just listened to, pressured government, a response from government. In September, immediately after the song went viral on social media, the federal government began the repair of Songwater Road. Please, let's give it a round of applause for it. Back to this slide. That song triggered the start of the rehabilitation of Water Road. That's an impact. Please, a round of applause for Eedris Abdulkareem. Eedris Abdulkareem, I did not talk about Mr. Lecturer because we are focusing on those things that threaten our lives. Those things that threaten our lives that artists, conscious artists must prioritize in the advocacy towards 2023. He exposed sex for grades and sexual harassment on campus. He was the first to really do that in terms of the mainstream music scene in Nigeria. And today, I think last year, BBC, had a very comprehensive documentary on it. He inspired that. Eedris Abdulkareem, please, a round of applause for Eedris. Most importantly, of the impact of his work, please, Eedris fought for the respect and financial freedom being enjoyed today by the new generation of Nigerian artists. Eedris fought for the respect and financial freedom being enjoyed today by the new generation of Nigerian artists. And we understand why, especially for the younger people, generation who don't understand some of the issues, because there have been so many misrepresentation of facts about the incident that happened in 2004. Next slide, please. Yes, here is a flashback from the perspective of a member of the G Unit, 50 Cent's G Unit crew in 2004. He granted an interview recently, I think last year, recalling the incident, the big clash between Eedris and 50 Cent that led to the revolution of what Nigerian artists are enjoying today. Please, let's listen to Young Buck from the G Unit.
One of the most craziest experiences that I've had with G Unit is been in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria.
Is that the time when 50 got his chain snatched and he?
Nah, I wasn't there. We had me and 50 had fallen out, beefing. I probably was like, hell yeah, them niggas got that nigga chain at that time. We had fallen out. We was beefing and shit. So
brothers, yeah.
Yeah, bro. And
so Nigeria,
bro, and something happened with these guys where, we was on a plane. We was on one plane where we had. Everybody had chartered this one big. You remember that, Adam? Everybody chartered.
Adam, I know the story.
Yeah. We had chartered this one big plane for everybody who's on the whole entire show to ride on. One big jet. Like 200-300 seater type of thing. And one of the guys felt like we were sitting in. 50 was sitting. Me. No, 50 was sitting in his seat, right? And the guy had, made a big scene like, yo. And security was like telling them, yo, you sitting in 50 seat, chill, can you get up or whatnot?
Yeah.
And he spoke a different language and jumped all in his face. And so the security kind of probably, took it as if, you finna, yo, bro, what's going on? So he roughed him up and, like, yo, man, hold on, and walked him on up off the plane. But I don't know, within 5 or 10 minutes, I don't know who that dude was. What happened, man? Hey, man, he made a call, man. Man, this dude made a call. Now, mind you, we on the airplane runway. We on the airplane runway about to take off. All of a sudden, I just see one, it's like a movie. I just see a dude standing in the middle of the runway, walking towards the plane while the plane is taking off. Man, guess what the plane did? Stopped. The pilot stopped the plane, opened the doors, got off the plane, and left us. What? I could not believe this shit, bro. I'm way in fucking Nigeria, like, what the fuck is going on? Matter of fact, who is this motherfucker that is powerful at the airport, walking in the middle of the airplane runway? Bro, hey, listen, bro. He had on I remember it like it was yesterday. I don't know who you are. I don't remember your name, but you go ahead on a regular. He had a regular NBA jersey on with some fucking Gucci Nikes. You understand? The regular Air Force Ones with the Gucci print shit. And he was a powerful motherfucker.
Please excuse that language, please. That's his own side of the story. That's his own recollection. Next slide, please. Now, I think we need to upgrade the volume of this. This was Eedris' response to that reminiscence, because Eedris also remembers what happened. We organized a summit here in April, and the issue came up, and Eedris had this to say. Please, the video. Is the volume ready?
In 2004,
Okay.
I was in Germany. I was invited by the Nigerian breweries to come and perform alongside with 50 Cent. And I said to those multinationals that, listen, whatever is it that you are giving 50 Cent, you must give Eedris. If you're giving 50 Cent an executive suit, I want my room to be opposite 50 Cent. If you're giving 50 Cent 17 cartons of Dom Cristal, anything, give me. If you are giving 50 cents, 17 babes, give me 17 babes. Whatever it is you are giving 50 cents, you must give me. You know why? Because if my music was not that important, they wouldn't have invited me for the event. They wouldn't have. I was the first artist to collect 5 million naira per show from these multinationals, 2004. So, but guess what? This is what they don't like. They hate it when you stand up for your right. We're not living in second slavery. I will not let that happen. So I said to myself, when I got to the plane, because I already have an agreement with you, it's signed. I sat on the business class, and 50 Cent and his crew came in. Meanwhile, the organizers told 50 Cent that the private jet is for him alone. So if the private jet was for 50 Cent, why did you bring Nigerian artists into the plane? You should have, arranged another plane for the Nigerian artists. So I went into the plane and I sat in my business class. And 50 Cent came with his crew and they're like, hey, you got to get the F out of that seat. And I was like, excuse me, we don't speak F in Africa. I don't know what F is all about. But listen, my name is Eedris Abdulkareem. I sold 4.6 million copies in a pirated country.
Thank you very much.
Please. Don't forget, when you talk about regulation, the music industry is not regulated like the telecom industry and the banking industry. It was an individual effort. And without the music industry, there would have been so much armed robbers in Nigeria today. So what we have done is to create employment for the federal government who has not paid us any royalty out of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next slide. What people have to say about the incident and the impact of Eedris on the music industry in Nigeria. Please, let's listen to Oriswileke.
Barely. The corporate bodies were treating us like shit. You understand? That is the Nigerian artist. And it came under the time we were at the helm of affairs of P-Man. And we said we're going to fight it in every way. We're going to fight it because you cannot be loading an American stars over us in our own territory. Okay, and they want a private jet for 50 Cent to go to, was it Port Harcourt, and they couldn't find one. Now they chartered one. The one they chartered, they gave the first class to 50 Cent to sit and his crew. Then why Eedris and the Nigerian people should go and sit at the economy? And so Eedris said, no, I am equally a star like this man. If you can put him on a first class, I am sitting on that seat. And so he sat on the first in the first class. And the crew for this people came and said, no, that seat is for 50 cents. And Eedris said, take another seat. He said, no, you people, this place doesn't belong to you. People are supposed to be on the other side. No, I'm sitting here. So that was what the fight was. You understand? And so they fought their way through, and at last, 50 Cent refused to go to Port Harcourt because the trouble was much. So I realized that if all those fights didn't happen, we probably would still be, marginalized and pushed to the downside. So it was a big fight. But after that, respect came. But nobody owed it to anybody anymore. So artists today are earning 4 million, 5 million. You cannot have an artist that will price $500,000.
Thank you very much. Next slide, please.
All good-standing people need to stand by, Eedris Abdulkareem. He's a conscience of the nation. He's a lone voice, paving the way for Nigerian musicians to be treated equally with foreign artists. In the altercation he had, or the protest he had against, when 50 Cent came to Nigeria, when 50 Cent was being treated, more specially by our promoters over Nigerian big stars at the time, he stood up and he spoke. And I dare say that Eedris Abdulkareem became poor, that our musicians like the Burna Boys, Wizkid and the rest can be rich today. He made the sacrifice and paved the way that they might enjoy what they're enjoying today.
Yeah, by the way, the speaker is Victor Ohai, the current president of the Directors Guild of Nigeria, the Association of Film Directors of Nigeria. Next slide, please. And here is a message from South Africa. The video, please.
Say what you wanna say. Say what you wanna say. Say what you wanna say.
Hello, Nigeria. My name is Palisa Sibia. I am sending you love all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. I am an interdisciplinary storyteller and applied drama practitioner, a filmmaker, and member of the Unchained Vibes Africa. As Africans, we are known for narrating our daily activities and events through music, art, storytelling, dance. And that's why Mama Nina Simone says that an artist's duty is to reflect the current times. And Fela says that his music is a weapon because they understood the importance and the fueling force that music is during a revolution. With that said, I would like to congratulate our brother Eedris Abdulkareem for using his music as a weapon of change, for using his music to start the important dialogues, for being the voice of the voiceless. We would like to say in my home language, siyabonga kakhulu. Continue with the good work.
Unfortunately, we lost Palisa this year. Earlier this year, in January this year. She's late now. And it was a tragic loss to us. May her soul rest in peace. Next, goodwill message from America. Here is from the director of Artist Artist Connection at PEN America, a French-American artist and curator. Video, please.
Say what you wanna say. Say what you wanna say. Say what you wanna say.
Hello everyone, my name is Julie Trébeau and I'm the director of the Artist at Risk Connection here at PEN America, the American chapter of PEN International. This month we are honoring the Nigeria hip-hop artist Eedris Abdulkareem, a fearless activist who has dedicated almost 20 years of his music career advocating for good governance in Nigeria through his music. Advocating for human rights and good governance is never an easy path. Having worked extensively with artists and activists from Africa, we at ARG are all too aware of the challenges and threats that artists can face in the region, from death threats to censorship and everything in between. Despite the challenges, what allows us to continue our work is the knowledge that art and music have the unique ability to liberate and uplift generations of communities fighting for free expression. Few people embody this liberatory power of art, as well as Eedris Abdulkareem. As one of Nigeria's most well-known hip-hop artists and political critique, Eedris' songs are filled with both a strong love of his country and an urgent call to action to address issues of corruption and inequity in Nigeria. Even throughout the difficult time the world has faced over the past year, Eedris has continued to make his voice heard loud and clear as he tries to find nothing but the truth. I am truly honored to congratulate Eedris today on his nomination of Artist of the Month and want to thank him for his incredible and courageous activism and vibrant music he has shared with us for over 20 years. Thank you, Eedris.
Freedom of speech, association, expression.
Unfortunately, the current state of health has slowed him down, but by the grace of God, he's going to get back on his feet and do what he needs to do. So in conclusion, Eedris Abdulkareem has contributed to the development of democracy in Nigeria through his music. He championed the revolution that brought respect to the music scene in Nigeria at the expense of his career and artistic freedom. He represents the voice of the downtrodden who cannot speak for themselves. Artists have a lot to contribute to strengthening Nigeria's democracy, but there's a shortage of conscious artists with fearless and consistent posture like Eedris. As 2023 draws near, Nigeria needs Eedris to inspire a younger generation of conscious artists, just like Fela inspired his own generation. Eedris deserves all the support and recognitions of every Nigerian.
Let me be the revolution. Let me be the revolution.